But the thing that I want to talk about for a few minutes is that in talking about that particular ad, Mitt Romney's national press secretary, Andrea Saul, was on TV the other day. And one of the things that Andrea said, which I thought was quite accurate and appropriate and truthful, is in response to questions about whether or not Romney's Bain Capital and the fact that they canceled the health insurance and that this guy couldn't get his wife covered, how they could tie that back to the governor. Andrea Saul, a veteran and savvy press secretary who plays it straight, said that, well, if it was in Massachusetts, that wouldn't have happened because under Romney Care, then that gentleman and his wife would have had the appropriate health coverage they need. Now, conservative pundits and commentators jumped on Andrea Saul like a bear in the woods, criticizing her mercilessly for that comment and raking her over the coals. In fact, my colleague on Thursday, Laura Ingram, actually called for her to be removed from a job or fired. Now, the response to Andrea Saul's comment, in my judgment, is absolutely beyond the pale, over the top, and quite frankly, asinine. What Andrea Saul said is absolutely the truth. Had that gentleman been in Massachusetts and had he been a resident of the state under the Romney Care plan that the governor instituted in that state, she would have been covered. Now, that is a factual and accurate statement. Let me tell you the biggest difference between Andrea Saul and the Mitt Romney press professionals and Obama. Andrea Saul tells the truth. Obama's people lie. We've seen that all week with this ad on the news over and over. They've denied it. They've said that they weren't part of it. Then we find out they were on a conference call. They obviously pushed this thing down to the PAC. So the allegations that the Obama press corps team lied is as plain as the nose on your face. And it's a very unfortunate thing. Andrea Saul, on the other hand, she told the truth. She spoke the truth. You know, what you crave for in those in the press and communications that represent the senior officials is that they tell the truth. Anything else is a waste of our time, an insult to our intelligence, and ridiculous spin. So why is Andrea Saul being criticized for doing her job and telling the truth? Well, she shouldn't have said that. Why? It's true. Let me tell you the other thing. Governor Romney, through all the criticism on Romney Care through the primaries, starting with his potential vice presidential choice, Governor Tim Pawlenty of Minnesota, saying all the way back in one of the inaugural GOP primary debates on a Sunday talk show, he's the one that coined Romney Care. Now, he may be on his ticket now. He's a good guy. And all through this, Governor Romney has not repudiated or distanced himself or disassociated himself from his health care legislation, Romney Care, in Massachusetts. Now, he has stood behind it, hasn't said much about it. Even when he was on our show, I asked him point blank about it, what the differences were, and he was very candid in saying that was a state-initiated program, and he is opposed to that being implemented at the federal level. So Governor Romney has been crystal clear on this fact. Now, if you don't like Romney Care, I'm sorry. Mitt Romney is the Republican nominee. Mitt Romney is going to Tampa on August 27th, and he will be nominated for President of the United States. End of story. Sorry, if you didn't support him, I was for someone else. That's yesterday's news. Governor Romney is the Republican nominee. He will accept that nomination on August 30th in Tampa. And so he has stood behind Romney Care in his state. So the comment that Andrea Saul made was an accurate, factual, and appropriately passionate comment that had that Joe Sopcich been in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, he would have had the health care. So rather than conservative pundits like Laura Ingraham, Michelle Malkin, I mean, the list goes on, Ann Coulter, jumping on Saul, saying should be fired. Now they're saying, well, she was an operative in the McCain campaign. Well, I voted for McCain. Does that make me not worthy? I mean, this is ridiculous. Andrea Saul came on TV, was asked a question point blank, and said and spoke the truth. So rather than jump on her and suggest that she be relieved of her duties, I want to make Andrea Saul the national communications director of the Romney campaign. And should he win, then I want to make Andrea Saul the press secretary of the administration, because this is what I just learned about Andrea Saul. Now, I've had her on my show also, but and she's straight up. She is going to tell you the truth. What a novel idea. Tell the truth. A press spokesperson telling the truth. Do you think that Obama's press people tell the truth? They get on TV. They get in front of that microphone. We have no idea what they're saying. Half of it is lies. We've just proven that out with this ad. Andrea Saul gets on TV and she tells the truth. And she's vilified by these so-called conservative pundits. Laura Ingraham, Ann Coulter, Michelle Malkin, the whole bunch of you. Shame on you all. Andrea Saul, my choice for National Communications Director for the Romney campaign. Be relieved of her duties. She ought to get a promotion. And I'll tell you the other thing. It signifies and contrasts the difference in class between the Mitt Romney for president team and the Obama Chicago thug operatives who will say and do anything to win. That's the difference. That's one of the reasons, among many others, that on November 6th, I'm voting for Mitt Romney for president. And I really hope that Andrea Saul is right there, right by his side. And I hope that she becomes Romney's spokesman for the administration, because when I turn the TV on or the radio on and she's speaking, I can be 100% sure that she's behaving with class and that she's telling me the truth. There you have it. In defense of Andrea Saul and for my conservative commentator brethren, get a life.